Welcome, everybody, to the Neutral Zone Infraction Northwest Podcast. I'm Drew, and we are going to talk about some sports today. So it was a win for the Seahawks over the weekend, albeit a win that was 2.5 hours of about as much fun as watching the Seattle Mariners play the Houston Astros while getting a dental cleaning. But it was a win nonetheless. Ugly win, but a win. And you know what? There's a lot of great to take away from it, and there's a lot of bad. So in order to figure out more about that, we're going to jump right into love, not so much love, Seahawks of the week. I'm going to start it out. Not so much love for Mark Glowinski this week. That is the right tackle for the Seattle Seahawks. Guard. He plays guard. The right guard for the Seattle Seahawks, who really had a tough game. He had a tough game the week prior in Green Bay, and he got downright exposed on a few plays where Russell Wilson was in trouble, got sacked, and you could pretty clearly see that Mark Glowinski, while not the only contributor on the offensive line to have a bad game, was a huge factor in why Russell Wilson had a bad time. Even on the best play of the game, which was Russell Wilson's touchdown pass to Paul Richardson, the best play of the game, Mark Glowinski was at his worst. He got absolutely blown up on that play, which is why Russell had to roll out to his left and make a spectacular throw and catch while getting tackled. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but as I'll talk about a little bit later on in this show, Mark Glowinski might be getting replaced here sooner rather than later, and I think that might honestly be for the best. He's a great guy. He is a super great guy. I was actually at training camp this year, and he was out there after everyone else signing autographs for kids, joking around, and, I wish him the best. I hope he is able to learn from whatever film he's putting together right now and compete, but right now it's just not good enough to be a starting lineman in the National Football League. So I expect for there to be a change there. I don't make the decisions, but we'll see what happens. Not so much love, Seahawk of the week, Mark Glowinski. Now, that leads me to love Seahawk of the week. And you know what? Most of you probably aren't going to like this one. And that's fine. I don't really care. Because it's Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson loves Seahawk of the week. Let me tell you why. I don't think that anybody, no other person on planet Earth makes the play that Russell Wilson made to Paul Richardson. I think that rolling out to his left while getting tackled, making a throw, no legs underneath him whatsoever, and he throws it in the perfect spot on the side of the end zone, the only place where Paul Richardson's going to be able to make that a touchdown catch. Unbelievable play. It was crazy-mazing. It was beyond description. One of the best plays I've ever seen. That, after a game of not having a great time, he made some overthrows. So many balls were dropped, though. So many balls were dropped by very catchable balls. I think Tanner McAvoy should have caught it for a touchdown. I think that CJ Prosise should have made a catch for a touchdown, one that hit him in his face. So his stats don't tell the whole picture in this game. But he did what he needed to do to win, and that's all we ask of Russell Wilson. That's what he's best at. He is a winner. And let me pose this question. Games on the line, you need a drive. Who are you going to pick? Who are you going to pick quarterback-wise to lead your team on that game-winning drive? I would pause briefly, think a little bit about Aaron Rodgers, then slap myself in the face and say, no, Drew, it's Russ time. It's Russell Wilson time. He's ready to take us to the house, as he has done so many times. And he's great. Top-tier, elite quarterback, and he showed you why. Russell Wilson, love Seahawk of the week. A few other takeaways from that game against the 49ers. Defense looked good. Defense looked really good. in all phases, basically, except for 2 plays in the rushing game where Carlos Hyde just gouged him. And a little bit late towards the end where, we got to make some form tackles, and then the numbers look a whole lot different for how they were able to rush. Now, that's something that's going to have to improve. You darn well better believe that they're in the tape room, in the film room, taking a look at those plays, because that can't happen on this defense in order for us to win against most people. The 49ers right now, they're down. They're really down. Brian Hoyer, not great. Their whole team, they're rebuilding right now. And if we play the way we played against most teams, the way we played against the 49ers this last week, I don't know if we get a win. But something to learn off of. They played really well, but that's what the expectation is. I mean, a lot of people I hear saying, defense absolutely carrying the team. Defense completely outplays the offense. I don't even know how they go to the same locker room with the offensive players because they're so much better. Well, you know what? That's where the money is. That is where the dollars are. So that's what the expectation is. There is not another defense around with as many dollars into it as our defense has. And it comes at the expense of other things. And I think it's pretty clear what those things are. So if you're going to chant the praises of the defense, just know that that's what the expectation is. Say you're in an elementary school. You hand out a math test, basic addition. You give it to a first grader and you give it to a fifth grader. Which one's supposed to be able to do that faster? That's a great analogy. That's what it is. Offense has some great pieces, but defense is where the money is. Starter, cash, getting paid. And that's great. I love it. I think it's a great formula to win. I think that's been proven. So, but that is where the expectation lies. I need to see better against the rush, especially against the Titans, who I think have a way better rushing attack than the 49ers do. They have Derrick Henry, and they've got DeMarco Murray, and they have Marcus Mariota. So lots of weapons to gouge you on their home field. So you got to be watching out for that. The other thing that I want to pump the brakes on too, Chris Carson, really great play so far in the preseason and these first 2 games of the season, especially with the amount of push we're getting up front with our offensive line, yards after contact, really great stuff. But just pump the brakes. Pump the brakes on he is the best thing since sliced bread. He's a running back. He's a rookie. So let him put some work together before we crown him as the heir apparent to Marshawn Lynch finally. It's just wait. Just wait. Because we've seen flash in the pan. You guys remember Christine Michael? I do. He had flashes of amazing. Now, not so far as what Chris Carson did in the fourth quarter on Sunday, but he looked really good, and he was supposed to be the next guy. So just wait. I'm taking a good hard look at Chris Carson. I'm loving what he's doing. He says all the right stuff. He does all the right things. But just wait. One thing that Chris Carson did do is he, and the team did as a whole really well, is time of possession, especially in that fourth quarter. So we're down 3, going into the fourth quarter. We get the ball back with 11-something left, and we possess the ball we had that touchdown drive, that amazing touchdown drive. Russell Wilson, Love Seahawk of the Week. Look it up. And then they go 3 and out. Defense comes out, clubs them in the head one time, says nope, and then we get the ball back, and then we don't give it up again. That was super great clock management, bad clock management by them. They'd already used 2 of their timeouts, and our ability to get first downs and run the ball with the tired 49ers defense. We possessed the ball super great as a team. The fact that we only won by the margin that we did is pretty crazy, considering the way that time of possession was in the first quarter, in the fourth quarter, throughout the game. It was very good. And if we can use that formula against better teams and possess the ball more, I think that is what we're built for ultimately. Right now, we're not built for the big, okay, we're going to just go score and go score and go score and go score. That's not what we're built for. We're built to play great defense, run the ball, and win when you have to. You got a magician at quarterback. You have the scariest defense around. Play defense, protect the ball, take the ball away, and win. Possess the ball. It's all about the ball. Win forever. Pete Carroll. I'm just full of Seahawks cliches today. It's great. So let's look ahead. We go to Tennessee, East Coast, but it's a 1 o'clock game, so that'll be good for us. A couple things to watch for in this game. I mentioned it already. The rushing attack of the Titans is really good. They've got some weapons. We're gonna have to wrap up. Have you seen Derrick Henry? He is a monster. He's a scary man. You gotta wrap up against him. Even Cam Chancellor has to wrap up. Everyone wrap up. And I'm sure that'll be preached throughout the meetings this week in Seahawks practice. So watch for the run. I don't think that they're going to be able to pass super well against us because, number one, not many people can. Number two, they don't really have the receiving threats that a lot of these teams do. Green Bay, not the 49ers. 49ers receivers are terrible. But the Tennessee doesn't really have anything either. So look for them to run the ball and try to possess the ball because that's going to be their formula to win as well. Another thing to watch for is their defense last year was one of the top sacking defenses around. They had 2 linebackers, Brian Arakpo and another guy, Derek Morgan. Each of them had Derek Morgan had 9 sacks last year. Brian Arakpo had 10.5. So between them, 19.5 sacks between them, that's pretty darn good production for a couple of sacking linebackers. So you got to watch out for them. The running backs are going to have to block really well. Tackles are going to have to do a better job. So watch for that because it's going to be an important key to getting a win in Tennessee. But this is definitely a winnable game. We have not played anywhere near our potential yet. And as soon as we can unlock it, as soon as we can get the wheels turning on this locomotive, watch out because we are talented up and down. We are absolutely stacked. So definitely watch for that. One final thing to watch for, Marcus Mariota. He is an average passer, so he can definitely throw the ball, but he can absolutely kill you with his legs. Now, I don't expect it to be a super big problem for us, especially because of the speed of our linebackers, but something to watch for because Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota, cut from the same cloth in terms of their ability to run the ball, their ability to make things happen in space when the play breaks down. So buckle up. It'll be a fun one. We cannot play as ugly as we did this last week and win. But that's okay. You learn from it. You move on. We're 1-1. Exactly where I honestly thought we'd be, having to go into Green Bay week 1. So here's where we get it going. Here's where we get the wheels turning and start to crush. I'm ready. I am ready. Okay, so to close out the show, I'm going to tell you who's going to win this week in the NFL. Last week I went 12-4. So, a little bit of improvement. I'm learning some teams. Overall, 22-9. Not too shabby. Here is going to win. Here is who is going to win. Wow, that's a tough one. Here is who is going to win. It's like a tongue twister. You got to stay with me. I'm not even going to edit that out. That's too good. It's quality entertainment. Here's who's going to win. Look at that. Just 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Rams, Ravens, Broncos, Steelers, Panthers, Vikings, Colts, Dolphins, Patriots, Falcons, Eagles, Hawks, Chiefs, Packers, Raiders, Cowboys. All right, guys, you have a great week. It's a little wet out there now, stay dry and keep on balling.